A plume of smoke was visible from the South Korean side of the border, a sign that inter-Korean ties may have been left in ashes after North Korea blew up their joint liaison office, an office that was established in Kaesong less than 2 years ago. As Seoul's presidential office put it, yesterday's act breaches the hope of all people wishing for lasting peace on the Korean peninsula. And while the explosion was shocking, it wasn't exactly a surprise either. Chairman Kim Jong-un's ever-important sister, Kim Yo-jong, warned the South would see the collapse of the liaison office. And this was just days after she threatened to cut off all communications between the Koreas, a threat that was also fulfilled. But then, what next? Based on Kim Yo-jong's threat, perhaps the destruction of shuttered joint tourism facilities at Mount Kumgang and the Kaesong Industrial Complex, which will be of particular concern to South Korean business owners who were hoping the positive mood of 2018 could lead to its reopening. The North also confirmed this morning it will break 2018's military agreement breakthrough by redeploying troops and guard posts to areas that had been cleared to reduce tensions, as well as resuming all kinds of regular military exercises, raising concerns of a possible flashpoint, especially given past border clashes on land and at sea. And this is all happening despite the extreme patience of South Korean President Moon Jae-in, or perhaps because of it. North Korea may be pushing the South to cooperate for financial support, regardless of US disapproval and Seoul's commitment to global sanctions. In so doing, Pyongyang may also be trying to further open a wedge in the South Korea-US alliance, which has been clearly troubled by cost-sharing issues. Moon admitted this week that we have come to a time when we cannot wait any more for conditions to improve, urging lawmakers to formally approve major inter-Korean deals despite fierce conservative opposition. And the majority Democratic Party did just submit a resolution calling for an end of Korean War declaration. But that was before yesterday. And besides, the North, massively hindered by sanctions and the coronavirus pandemic, but far from ready to give up nuclear weapons, will want practical sources of income rather than symbolic gestures. So the peacemaker Moon Jae-in is being backed into a corner, and there's a danger of the North pressuring the United States too far too. South Korea is now saying if North Korea takes steps further aggravating the situation, we will respond strongly to it. Moon's attempts to pacify Pyongyang after North Korean defectors sent anti-Pyongyang propaganda across the border didn't work. He risks looking increasingly weak if he doesn't strongly respond to the North's provocations. And then there's the Trump factor. How will US President Donald Trump respond? Like it or not, North Korea is making itself an issue in this American presidential election year. But if Pyongyang hopes to earn some US concessions on sanctions, it may need to think again, as Trump's options are limited, and he may choose to return to fire and fury rhetoric in an attempt to rally support if the denuclearization process is deemed to have failed. North Korea is playing a dangerous game, sandwiching the South when Seoul surely won't abandon its position as a responsible member of the global community, while pressuring perhaps the most unconventional president in American history.